Hypothetically speaking, back in Bulldogs day, if it snowed, did you still have to go to the building, or was that not required back then, or how did that work?
You still should have gone to the building.
Oh, okay.
What are you trying to get at?
No, I know that there's been a lot of travel circumstances. I don't know if you saw, but a few years ago, there was actually a blizzard in the WWF headquarters,
Mhm.
and they had JBL standing on top of the roof like a goof, and
Mhm.
he was like trying to draw things out on a whiteboard. They were just literally pulling Monday Night Raw out of their ass because I
Right.
think the deal was if you didn't broadcast, you didn't get paid, sort of deal. And I
Wow.
think they only had one wrestler in the building, and it was the former John Moxley. At the time, he was known as Dean Ambrose. And I just thought it was interesting that last week, when there's a blizzard and fans can't even get in the building, not only does he make it, but he's fallen on a bed of nails, Tony. My
Mm.
God, what a visual.
Do you know
Hey, look at this. This is Kerry Von Erich. Is this his debut for Madison Square Garden right here?
it?
Pondwater, you're with us. Don't act like you don't
Okay.
fucking know, you goddamn Marine man of Von Erichs.
Okay. This could be. Look how young he is. Holy smokes.
I mean, dude, he couldn't have been old. It's 1980, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Josh Henney was there and in Omaha, and let's hear it for the fans who came out because we had a great crowd. We were expecting the worst, but they came out and they he got that bed of nails in his back and had to get pulled out and probably had needed a tetanus shot after that.
Dude, it was crazy spectacle.
Yeah, it was. It was when we were pulling the spike out, it was just taking skin with it. It was like unbelievable. Okay, so Jose Estrada, Kerry Von Erich.
Yep, I'm trying to look and see if this is indeed Kerry Von Erich's first match in MSG, and I have confirmed it is. They're going to go 10 minutes and
Hmm,
40 seconds. It's interesting because he's not going to be back here for more than 10 years.
wow.
He'll come back as the Intercontinental Champion to wrestle Mr. Perfect. So think about that. You got a young Kerry Von Erich here wrestling his Madison Square Garden debut over Jose Estrada, and at the time, let me see when was my man born? Okay, he started wrestling in '78, so he's less than 2 years into his career here. My God,
Well, this is back in the time.
he's
This is
20.
yeah,
Youth's a 20-year-old man.
I know. This is like the territories are still a thing in 1980.
Oh yeah, but I mean, look how ripped he is at
Right.
20 years old, and he's in Madison Square Garden. I know
Right.
it's not the main event, but this is unbelievable to think. I mean, he was born in '60, and this is '80.
Mhm. Jeez.
What a success story he is too. I mean, I know people listen, obviously we know it was a sad ending and it was a flawed family and yada yada yada. But goodness gracious, to go from this humble beginning to be here as a 20-year-old, and when you come back 10 years later, you're the Intercontinental Champion. JR always used to say, go away and learn a new hold.
Mm.
Well, he went back to world class and had a hell of a career, and then came to the World Wrestling Federation and bam, IC champ. And in an alternate universe, I could have seen Vince getting behind a guy like him.
Oh
Like if
yeah.
Hogan wasn't there, like he had all the other intangibles, the look and the physique and all that.
Is this before Vince Jr. took over?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're seeing now is the case of Madison Square Garden, right, the Mecca, so to speak. And a lot of guys, a lot of territories would send some of their young guys there to get the experience to work in a big crowd like that
Yes.
because there was still still the gentleman's agreement of promoters all around the country. So that's why I'm saying this is when the territories were still a thing. And that's why you're seeing Kerry there.
So Tony, because the timeline is so close to yours, Vince bought out his dad in '82.
Okay. Right.
And then you come into the business in late '83. I think it's interesting that Vince had only owned the company for about a year, a little over a year, when you join up with Crockett.
Mhm. Yeah, and of course, I was when I joined, it was the territories were still a thing, kinda, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm very happy. I'm very proud to say that I saw a part of that, you know? I mean, that's the bygone era. That's not many people really remember that are still in the business today. So,
Pondwater's telling lives in the chat. He's saying rumor was Dusty or Kerry was the plan if Vince didn't get Hogan. Never ever have I heard that it was Kerry. I have pretty consistently heard that it was going to be Dusty, and from a charisma and the style of promo and all that, that's the reason I don't buy that it was Kerry. I
mm,
do buy Dusty or Hogan, and I've even heard, the other one could be just de facto Sergeant Slaughter or Jimmy Snuka. I mean, those were his other sort of top stars,
right.
but they were holdovers and they had been established. I think Vince wanted something new, Dusty on a mainstream scale, especially knowing the direction they went. Like, tell me it doesn't make sense to imagine Dusty Rhodes teaming with Mr. T to take on Roddy Piper and
Oh,
Paul Orndorff. Like that works every day.
right. Yeah, of course it does, because of entertainment value.
Pondwater saying, well, the body was the only reason it was Kerry. I'm not arguing that he had a great body. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, you know, even
Sure.
like the Ultimate Warrior, because most people compare those physiques, Ultimate Warrior and Kerry Von Erich. But, the Ultimate Warrior, his character was so larger than life. Kerry's was just so understated. It's hard for me to imagine Kerry liking basically Bob Backlund with better muscles.
Yeah. Hey, you had asked me last week, I believe, about some of the unsung heroes.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, shouting out some people in
yeah,
AEW.
and I was after we went off the air, I thought, man, I really missed some people that I should give shout outs to.
Well, let's do it now. God damn it!
All right, let's do it now. And this is including the list from last week. Okay, so if I don't say somebody this week, it's because I probably said them last week. Okay,
It's in the archives.
yeah.
WHWMonday.com.
Our director Andrew Thomas, uh, the two ladies who are stage manager Sophia and the great Lauren Renee. They've done a great job of taking care of the announcers and making sure that everything is right. Uh, we've got Freddie in audio, Britta in audio. Uh, let's see, Cassie doing video for us. Um, I know Joel in the truck, assistant director in the truck, does a great job for us. And of course, I don't think we could function, to be honest with you. And I've mentioned it before. Well, I know we couldn't function without uh, QT Marshall and Sanjay Dutt.